Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Trade Ideas Pre-Market Show for Friday, July the 31st. My name is Barry Anderson, moderator of your trading room. Thank you, William and Starkey. You guys in the main room anyway can hear me, see my screen. Just waiting for maybe Pepe to let me know the same thing in our YouTube room. Just give me a moment. I'm just checking. Sometimes I don't see the comment, Pepe. So if you've already done it, great. Thanks. Okay, guys, and Faith, I see your computer is fixed. You're back in the right room now. So on a personal note, I actually was able, where's that CYCC? I was actually able to trade a little bit of it after hours. Or no, CYCU. Whenever it got over $2. Yeah, it was right there, 415. I had an alert set right around this area, and when it hit $2, I said, just take some. And man, what a ride. It went right to almost $3. I wish I could say I kept everything, got out at 3, but yeah, it was a very quick little trade. Just give me a moment, guys. I'm trying to how do I get I'm trying there's something going on with YouTube here. Just give me a moment. There we go. There you go. Okay, thank you, Pepe. I do see it now. I have to stretch out the conversation section a little bit more. Okay. Okay. So what's happening this morning? So FCUV, and guess what? Low float, 620,000 in the float, 18,000 or 18 million are traded already. Okay, they do have they say they've got announces launch of deterministic AI forms auto-populate engine for autonomous business document. Okay, whatever. So there is a press release for this FCUV, which is sparking it upwards. Where could it go? Let's take a look at a monthly chart. So we're at 833 right now. There's a high right there. That high is already there. 824, that high is already there. So there's a high right there of 37. Yeah, 37.92. 37.92. That was back in, looks like April. Yeah, so in April, there was a high of this stock, FCUV, got up to almost $38. So obviously, this is the one today. Well, when I say the one today, it's going to be followed all day long. But remember what happened with the NUWE yesterday? That looked like it was going to be the one, and it just fizzled out. And I think it did a financing, didn't it? I'm sorry. Yeah, oh, it's not loading. Shoot, I might be hung up. And it's got nothing to do with the Epic Pen. Nothing to do with Epic Pen, Pepe. I haven't loaded it yet. So morning, Shaw. Shoot, I am hung up. Just want to make sure. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to reload trade ideas. Give me a moment. Okay, guys. Well, the only unfortunate part is that now my top 10 list is not, which started at about 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, is not going to be complete now. So FCUV though is still it's the one still. Okay, so they didn't what did it get? It got up to about $10, right back down to 747 through the VWAP, REPL. All right, well REPL it's holding the VWAP. At least that's in its favor, holding the VWAP. Let's see if there's any news on this one. Okay, well okay, so after the Food and Drug FDA panel voted in favor of the biotechnology company's experimental skin cancer treatment. Okay, so that is the reason why REPL is soaring today. It's not a low float, 72 million in the float. It's not high, but it's certainly not one of the low floaters. So this is probably maybe more chance as long as it holds the 200 the VWAP. And let's take a look at it on a monthly chart. Next high looking left on the monthly chart is excuse me, last month's high. 1261. Then there's a high up here of 1315. So it's coming into areas where it could stall. I mean, it's already gone up 129%. Hey, what's happening with this one? KPTI, obviously some disastrous. So this was news after hours yesterday, guys. So this KPTI down 69% after hours trading, after reporting that its drug missed its primary goal in phase 3. Look out, phase 3. William, I don't know if you had a chance to take a look at this KPTI, but this is phase 3. What else they have going? Probably not much more. Pretty low float, 19 million in the float. Not a lot of volume yet. Only 1.6 million shares are traded, down 71. Excuse me, down 71%. I saw that one after hours, William. Yeah, the Reddit had earnings, obviously, RDTL. Well, and so I was watching this RDTL just sinking. So Reddit had earnings. I'm assuming it had earnings, RDDT. Yes, it had earnings, and look at this, down 15%. So that other one is down, what, 30%? But it's, I don't know if it's a two-timer. Yeah, so that's a two-timer. So, and volume's not bad. Check the spread. The spread is well, the spread's about a dime, but I'm sure it's going to. But this is a two-time move. So if you thought Reddit was going to continue down, you could short this one. I don't know if there's a. I don't really care anymore if there's as long as I have shorts available. Not a lot, 63,000. As long as I have shorts available for these longs, I guess I don't really care if there's a short version of it to buy. BTOG, guys, BTOG. Okay, up, down. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. KPTI, so KPTI, a little bit of a bounce here, guys. I have no idea what else they have. It's a phase three, though. Phase three, not good at all, of course. But it's putting on a little bit of a bounce, a 10-cent bounce. The VWAP is up here at 217. Wow, AXTI, is this an earnings play? This is an earnings play, guys. This is really ripping here. 62 million in the float, so it's not low, not crazy high, but it's certainly ripping 44%. AXTI, this is an earnings play. And let's see, what could it go? The next high is $74 approximately on the in a weekly chart. Sorry, I mean, yeah, call it $73. So it still has room on the weekly chart anyway. Sorry, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. We're at 67.67 right now. There's a high right there of 68.38. So there is a weekly high, a little bit closer to the current price. But that has been straight up, no pullback whatsoever for AXTI. And this is an earnings play. AXTI is an earnings play. Probably an ETF, company ETF for that one. Here's another earnings play, guys, and this is getting hit pretty hard. It's Roblox down 21%. It's not a low float. That's a big look at that move. 21% down with 635 million in the float. That is a big move. And it's trying to recover a little bit, but there's the VWAP. Will the VWAP stall it? And that is for the RBLX earnings play. All right, guys. I'm just checking some other this KPTI. I don't know if William had a chance to look at it. The KPTI, that is the disaster du jour for sure. Um, phase three, not good, which is really bad for a little bio. I don't know. I don't know what else they've got going for them. Market. What is the overall market doing right now? So the market, a little bit of a pop. Decent. Wow, completely wiping out, almost wiping out. Yes, or not quite though. Wednesday, remember the Dow was down, I think 1100. So the Dow was up yesterday 600. But the SMH, the techs really recovered. Look at SMH. Big day yesterday, wiping out, getting above the high of the last 2 days. So this is the two-time for long for Palantir, PLTR. So this PTIR, this is the one I traded, I think, a couple of days ago, maybe 3 days ago. think it might have been this day right there on that down. Yeah, pretty sure it was this day on a short for PTIR. Yeah, well, little drop. I don't know where you got it. 68, 66 down to 67. So pretty strong though. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to check to see whether or not there is an ATF or an ETF. And there is. So there's an AXTL, AXTL. So this is super cheap, okay, guys, AXTL. So if you thought AXTL was going to continue higher, you could buy this one. There are, I don't think there are any shorts available on this one. So there's AXTU. I'm just checking to see which one has more volume. So this is less volume. And there's one more, AXTU. Yeah, so the XTL looks like that is the one that has the most volume in terms of a company ETF. Certainly it's cheap. They're all cheap. And there are some shares of short, not many, 15,000 at for this AXTL, just in case it runs out of steam. So Shaw PTIR, well, it's just one of those company ETFs. Okay, it's not a new stock; it's just a company ETF. There's a ton of them. I don't think this is new. This has been around for a while. If that's the question. So again, you buy this. If you thought Palantir, the stock, was going to do anything, you could either short this or go long. The attraction, of course, is that you'll get double the move, but probably the main attraction is that it's a lot cheaper. There's NBIL. What a comeback for NBIS, because this is now. I mean, this was up big yesterday. It's up big again today. Again, so NBIS, the stock is up almost 9%. Apple was earnings, wasn't it? No. Yeah, Apple's was earnings, okay, after hours. And no, that one will definitely have an ETF. Okay, guys, let's take a look at the sectors just before the 9:30 open. So I'm going to click from the toolbar. I'm going to click on New and then Dock Channel Bar and scroll down a bit. These are all theme-based channels, and I'm going to click on the sector status channel. All right, so SMH, the top of the leaderboard right here in the sectors, NLR, probably I'm wrong. Silver is the weak one, guys. Silver is the weak sector right now as we speak. Probably is going to be weak most of the day. But SMH, so the semis continuing their rallying from yesterday's big gains. Expensive one, ETN as an industrial. This is leading the not bad volume, but it must be an earnings play. Yes, ETN is an earnings play. What's the worst one? Nothing catastrophic. I'm just looking for something that's catastrophic, either on the high side or the low side. Not catastrophic, but is this an earnings play? It is not an earnings play. I thought maybe a Estee Lauder was, but it is not. Aha, CTVA. That's must be an earnings play. It is an earnings play. Not a lot of volume yet, but CTVA is getting hit, down 8%. A little bit expensive. MPWR is only $1,500 a share. It's an earnings play. 26,000 have traded. 15 again almost 15%. $1,500 is the stock. Maybe it has an ETF. Maybe it has a company ETF. And there's Apple right at the very bottom here, guys. Yeah, Apple down 7.8%. That's a big, big, big move for Apple with 14 billion in the float. Healthcare, DXCM. Is this yes, another earnings play? Not much volume, but it is up 7%. DXCM earnings play. Ooh, on the flip side, SYK, probably an earnings play. Yes, SYK is an earnings play. Down on earnings, as is ABI. McKesson, but these are the two big ones, ABVV and SYK. Amazon, wow, Amazon retail up 12%. Really? Didn't Amazon have earnings yesterday? Yeah, Amazon had earnings yesterday. Can't remember what the reaction was. Well, the reaction was good, obviously, and even better today. Boy, look at this, Amazon. That's a big, big move with that sort of a float, guys. Almost 10 billion in the float to move up 12%. That's a massive move. On the flip side, some of these really, really expensive ones, AN down on earnings. It's on the flip side, 4.6%. I must have missed it. Sorry, William. I must have missed it, but I'll take a look at it now on the KPTI. Sorry. $0.40. Okay, it has one approved drug, so they have revenue, but it is not profitable yet and bleeds cash. They have one other drug under study besides the one that was reported last night. Given that they will be filing for approval on the drug, I don't think the trial was the failure. I traded it long after hours last night for a small profit. I'm looking for a bounce. Okay, cool. Thank you. That's the KPTI. So you don't think it was a failure? So when I see this, this is the KPTI plummets as its drug fails in phase 3 trial for endometrial metrial. I cannot pronounce some of these things. Endometrial, probably cancer. So is that not a failure? So that's another drug then. Okay, must be another drug, not this one that failed. Okay. Okay. Well, it is bouncing though. I mean, off $2, it is bouncing. It's up to 219 now. I mean, and it's now through the VWAP, so it is bouncing. All I want though is another 50-cent stock that you point out that goes up to $3 after hours. Okay, that's all I want today. Okay. All right, guys. Less than a minute. Let's have a great end to this trading week, everybody. Get rid of this. Now, I typically do not trade in the first 15 minutes. And give me one moment. All right, guys. We are now almost open. I'm sorry, I jumped the gun. I thought we were open, but another, well, we are open, but the 9:30 open, 10 seconds to the 9:30 open. Well, SCUV is holding the VWAP, guys. It is holding the VWAP. It has not plunged through it yet. Okay, so I think NWL is an earnings play. I may be wrong. Yeah, Newell is an earnings play. NWL. There's the Reddit RDTL, guys. RDTL. This is the 2-time long. Of course, it's moving down. Wow. Reddit, the stock is down 18%. This is down 36, double the move. Will it bounce somewhere? Now, Reddit, there is a low of around 1146. 1340. There's a low right there. There's a monthly low right there at 1340. So it's a little bit below that. The next low in a monthly chart is 1176. And I'm talking about the RDTL. Whoa, and look at SpaceX, guys. SpaceX is taking a bit of a drop already. But it's early. Okay, AXTI, let's see if it's resuming. AXTI. Whoa, I don't know. It doesn't sound like you held on to the short. What a nice drop right into the VWAP. Maybe you held on to it. Talking about USSG. Market, the opening, well, it's been on a little bit of a run from 742. It's been on a run from about what time is that? That's about 8:45. Nice little run through the VWAP. Positive market so far. Positive as in, well, the Dow's positive. The Qs are, wow, the Qs are up still a lot. And Roblox is having a pop also, coming back. It's an earnings play. RBLX. This REPL. Ooh. Last time I looked, it was holding the VWAP, plunged below it. Now it's a little bit above it. Had some news. But you can just see how whippy things are in the first 15 minutes. Okay, so somebody mentioned this one, the MGRX. This is one of those ones under a dollar. It's going to, the only one that's going to show up under a dollar is in this upside versus downside movers. Okay, that's the only one. Every other one of my scans has a minimum of $1. But here's the MGRX is ripping here, up 186%, 134 million have traded. Not a crazy low float, 15.8 million in the float, but look at the volume. Relative volume, 16,000 times normal up to this time of day. Give me one moment, guys. Okay, guys, now DFN, so not shortable for me. So not quite as active as it was yesterday already, but EQX, let's say EQX, take a look at this one. Remember, these are potential shorts, anything in powder but the problem with the DFNS for me anyway, no shorts available. So remember, with the market being up a lot yesterday, we're probably going to get a lot of reversals on the way down. Stocks that are just reversing. But nowhere near as active as it was right off the bat yesterday. I'm just looking for, I wish this DFNS was shortable, but it is not for me. Now, EQX is okay, not an earnings play. The problem I have with EQNX and any maybe even a silver play, it's so tied into the metal. Okay, it's so tied into the metal itself. Probably it's not an earnings play, so it's not unless it's doing something. Okay, there was some news on it. Okay, Equinox Gold and Orla Mining complete business combination. So, okay, so that is the news on it. So that, okay, so it's not just tied into what's happening with silver or gold. Boy, KPTI, that was a fantastic bounce. Fantastic bounce off $2. There's another one, MG. Some real cheap ones here, guys, showing up here. Now this one, VCYT, earnings play. It is an earnings play. Okay, this is an earnings play. So this problem is the spread. Some of these more expensive ones early on, the spread is not great, and it's not great. It's about a 50-cent spread. I can't take it. I won't take it. Might keep moving down, but 44.92 is the low looking left. We'll call it 45, so about a dollar to that low looking left on the monthly chart. Now this is, boy, just everything in yellow, guys. Right now, these are all suggestions to short. And this is something to do with MSTR, right? So the stock MSTR must be down about 3.5%, a little over 3.5%. Wow. SPCX, guys, challenging 110 now. Yeah, okay. This is an earnings play. Ryan is an earnings play. Not a ton of volume yet. The trigger was, well, the alert was at 47.01. It's at 47.22 right now. It is an earnings play. The next high looking left on a daily chart would be 48.42. So not that far away, about a dollar away. Just a complete reversal yesterday in this scan. Everything was powder blue yesterday. These were, excuse me, because the market was so down the day before, and then stocks rallied. Yeah, I just wish I had a better chance to prepare for them all, William. Nice to see them early and then just copy a bunch down. Okay, here's BOT. This is sort of an ETF, isn't it? Or maybe not. I think this is more of an ETF for robos. I may be wrong, but I don't see any. I don't see a profile on it. Morning, Ra, in our main room. Well, I mean, this would have worked. This 46.50, now it's 45.71. I didn't take it. A little early for me to take it. The ones I'm looking at more are the company ETFs of sort of name companies. But this is an earnings, probably an earnings play. Yeah, sorry, it's not an earnings play. VCYT is an earnings play. It is an earnings play. I think when I first looked at it, I think the spread was about 50 cents. It's tightened up a bit, 27 cents now. And the SPY just took a plunge. Okay, the SPY did just take a plunge. That opening 5-minute bar was green all the way up here, and then but it sold off right at the end. Okay, closed close at the low, and the next bar is now red. So the SPY is, and the Qs were up 10. Now they're only up 6. But you know what? FCUV is still doing its thing, guys. Above the VWAP. And this is the one that had a ton of room. Yeah, $38. $38 on the monthly chart. It's a low float, 620,000 in the float, guys. Okay, so that's for the SCUV. So if you're going to do anything with this, be awfully careful with that float. AMIX just got halted on the way up, and look at the room it's got. $4.38 is the next high, looking left on the daily chart. So it's got room. Let's see where it could open. So there's the halt for a. So this blue screen I'm showing you here is from Interactive Brokers. Nothing to do with trade ideas. Okay, time and sales from Interactive Brokers. There's the halt price for AMIX. There's the potential open area, 355. So if you're in this one right now, excuse me, if you were able to get this before the halt, it's looking decent. Okay, it looks like it'll open above the halt price. Boy, everything. Well, the Ryan actually, 4701, what did it do? 4701. The problem I had with it was the spread is awful. It's just awful. Look at that. 40, it's just awful. Hard to commit. Well, the market's just giving up all its gains right now. At least the SPY is, okay? The SPY is up just a little bit still, but and look at the Qs. I mean, the Qs were up 10. So SMH has obviously taken a bit of a, yeah, look at that plunge. Look at that plunge for SMH. Well, anything in powder, I mean, these are just suggestions, of course, RR, but anything in powder blue is a suggestion to go long. Anything in yellow is a suggestion to go short. Okay. But Ryan is basically untradeable because of the spread for me anyway. I didn't put anything in the economic calendar. Beyond Meat. Why are you doing anything? Are you under a dollar? You are under a dollar. Well, Beyond Meat, guys, BYND, under a dollar, right at 58 cents. Remember this scan, these two scans, the only time I'll see anything under 50 cent, under a dollar is in here. You know what? Back to no, I'm not alerted when there's a post. Jeez, I might have to do the clear the cache thing again. Man, so guys, I'm sorry if you're asking me a question, I may not see it because I'm not getting the number beside the tab. I thought we had it cleared up by yesterday, but nope. Obviously, it's back. Well, I mean, the alert was at 8:09 for the MSTX. Again, this is the long version, but you can short it. You can short it. Lots of shares available. 780 right now. The next low looking left on the daily chart is 755. So there's a little bit of a potential scalp play for this one. If it can get close to that 755. I'm just watching the SPY to see if it continues to sell off. Let me just type in SPY here and see if there's any specific news. Well, we had the Chicago, but we had the Chicago PMI coming out at 945, 57.6 versus, so I guess that's not good. I guess that's not good. All right, and Micron. Okay, now Micron, so the stock just went negative. Micron, the stock just went negative again. So there's a two-time bull for it, and it, of course, is negative, but it's bare. Micron, the stock barely went negative. Boy, if anybody had shorts for DFNS, laughing. Wow. Well, there's the the FCUV guys. What a move. This did not give it up at all. Held the VWAP all the time. Halted right now. I did not take it. Oof, a very nice one from our AI right off the bat. Glue on a glue short. So they had some news after hours yesterday for Beyond Meat. I'm not going to. Krishna Swami, CEO Brown returns to the board. Okay, so that's your news for Beyond Meat. That was news after hours yesterday, and I guess that's helped to pop the stock a bit. And that's BYND. Sinking. Look at SpaceX here, guys. This is the two-time. Remember, this is the two-time. SSPC is the The version which you would buy if you thought SpaceX was going to continue down. SpaceX is challenging, the stock itself is challenging 110. Wow, SpaceX is just trying to take out 110 now. What's the low? What is the low for the stock itself now? Is that, I think it was 109 something? Oh, no, I'm wrong. Wow. It got down to 106.86. That's right. We were wondering if this was the day it was going to maybe crack 100, but it rallied actually. It rallied, went for that's right. That a $10 rally went down to 106 and closed up here at 116. Will it happen again? Meanwhile, FCUV just opened, and how did it open? What a run! Yeah, what a run! Held 10 like nothing, like very well. Held the VWAP very well. Not shortable for me at Interactive Brokers, so can't even try to do that. Just looking at Bitcoin right now, down 1,500. We're back to 63,000 approximately for Bitcoin. Boy, look at FCUV just ripping. This is what I was hoping NUWE would do yesterday. You know, NUWE had a ton of room, not the same amount of room as FCUV, but certainly a lot of room. But it just goes to show you just don't know. You know, they both were very low floats, but this one has had no pullback really at all. Every time I see FCUV here, it means it's making a new high, guys. This is all real-time alerting, okay? And right here, of course, not in here because it did not. It wasn't a reversal play. Ugly. Is this an earnings play? It's not an earnings play. Clean Spark, CLSK. I thought it might have been an earnings play. I'm just trying to see if there's any bad news. Have they released early? They don't release until August 6th. All right, I've got to maybe take a shot at one of these. AMCX. This is okay. This is AMC. So this is not AMC the stock. This is the other, well, not the other version of it, but another split off company, I guess. But it's coming right into that next high right there. It's 11.13. If it gets over 11.13, it could really run here. Ooh, I missed this one. PRM, guys. Is this an earnings play? PRM is an earnings play. Shoot, I missed this one. This is a short opportunity, 30.72. We're now at 29.86. So there's about $1 move. And it's underneath that, excuse me, 30, which is, to me, pretty psychological. 29.44 is the next low looking left. Just put a price alert in that area, because if it takes that out, look out below on the weekly chart. Anyway, all right, guys. Well, AMCX holding the VWAP. The VWAP, call it around 11. Okay, I know there's one here at 1078, but that's not taking into account pre-market volume. So the VWAP down here. So let's see if it holds the VWAP. Be watching the market. Going to go. I'm not saying this is going to be tied into what the market's doing, but the market's trying to put in a little bit of a pop here. Little bit of a pop. Okay, a little struggle trying to hold 11. There's the VWAP right there. Can it hold the VWAP, AMCX? All right, this got another cheap one, halted on the way up. CIGL, yes, it got okay. It almost got to $1. Oh no, I guess it was halted on the way down. Just resumed. CIGL. Continuing to watch this AMC, guys. It's going to have to take this out again, though. That 11.16 or 11.13. Okay. For the AMCX, I'm going to have to want to keep watching it. Morgan Stanley maintained AMC networks with a coverage of 10. Oh, underweight in a target. Okay, that's not good. Well, Wells Fargo raised the price from 10 to 11. But here's AMC. Okay, AMC itself. So not doing anything. Okay, MGRX is still hanging around the $1 mark. Through the 200-day moving average. See if there's any news on this one. Mango Ceuticals jumps after hours on nuclear reactor deal. Okay. So it looks like it's merging with. Oh, I see. This is sort of a SPAC then. Nuclear Energy to go public via merger with Mango Ceuticals. All right. But I don't. Yeah, this is not the typical blank check company SPAC. But at any rate, that's what's happening. So that is the news for it. So at least there is some news for MJRX. Well, I've got to put a price alert at $1 just in case. See if we can do something similar. In fact, right there, that is a monthly high right there. 103 takes that out. 138 is the next high in a monthly chart anyway. Well, we'll see if it happens later on. William, this looks like an all-day short, RDTL. Hmm. So I do see that AMCX did get to the 113. My problem right now with it is the spread 111, 118. That if the bid catches up, I might have to take it. Okay, sorry guys, I'm just slack information. DGNX, but I'm sure it's just too cheap for me to short. So the market had that little glimmer of green, but not anymore on the SPY anyway. I'm looking at the SPY. The SPY actually has gone negative. Dow's negative. The Qs are hanging on with their fingernails to a positivity. There's SMH. Meanwhile, FCUV again made another. Where did it get up to? It got up to 1784. Just give me a moment. Well, there's the SSPC guys. Sounds like a ship. The SSPC, but SpaceX continues. Let's see if it gets close to that 106 mark. That was the low, its all-time low, and SSPC just continues to move higher. So that was the day right here. That was the day that SPCX hit 106. Then it rallied all day. Remember, this is if you thought SpaceX SSPC X sorry SPCX was going to continue down, this is a way to you can buy this. I'm not saying to do it now. I'm just but in general, wow, the SPY just took another hit down. Building up steam, guys. The market's building up steam on the downside. Give me a moment, guys. Where is Obi? All right, guys. Just looking. Wow, the AMCX went without me. Unfortunately, it went without me. Oh well. Let's see what happening. There's the AMCX 1109, and it went without me. I don't know how much more it's got in it, but 1130 now. All right, guys. Going to go over my homepage for the first time today. Okay, guys. I am now. It's gonna be Mark. Yeah, it's not that. Obi, that's not going to happen. Sorry. Okay, guys. Boy, I'm having problems with this navigating in here. Look at the AMCX just made another new high, guys. Another new high. Okay, my homepage. Sorry. Okay, looking at my homepage, this is what you're going to see right off the bat, right at the top here, how you can take out a subscription to Trade Ideas. You can get 15% off the first month only or the entire year. Doesn't matter if you choose our standard plan or our premium service, okay? The 15% applies to both the monthlies for those and the annuals. And all I ask, if you're going to take out a subscription sometime in the future, please use my code Y. I moderate two trading rooms, the YouTube room and the main room right here. Company tracks the use of the promo code, so if they see my code being used often enough, they don't mind keeping the rooms free. It's really that simple. Okay. Also, this room, the trading room, opens up at 6:45 a.m. So if you're sitting in YouTube wondering about this room, it's free also, but it opens up at 6:45 a.m. Eastern time. Thank you, Obi, for doing that. I don't. I live in Vancouver, Canada, so too early for me to do that. I get on the mic between 9 and 9:15 for both rooms. Ooh, I think this just hit $1, right? MGRX. If you keep scrolling down, keep it simple. Get the trade of the week. You can sign up for it right here. It's free. Okay, you'll get it before the market opens every Monday morning. Education section, if you're taking out a subscription or you're thinking about it, this is what I'm going to say what you must do, even if you're thinking about taking out a subscription, okay? First of all, if you're just taking out a subscription, this is mandatory, getting started with Trade Ideas, 12 short videos to get you started. If you don't have Trade Ideas, though, and you're wondering about it, before you do anything, take a look at these videos. Start off with that second one, go to the end. That'll give you an idea about what the program can do. That's what I would do anyway. Why would you take out a subscription to something which you don't really know when you don't know what the program can do? So take a look at these videos, and you can always try us for a month. If you don't like it, just unsubscribe. Back to basics. If you're new to trading, this is for you. 15 free videos if you're new to trading. And if you're looking for some of my scans, etc., click on my homepage link, middle section right here. So this race is the one right here. The biggest gainers is right here. Upside versus downside movers is right up here. This is what I use in the pre-market. The pre-market actives up and down. The trend reversals, which is sort of covered up right now, but it's right here. This is what and here's the halts resumes over here. I do have other scans that I'm currently sharing. You can take a look at them. Both rooms are trading rooms, but they're also support rooms. So if you do have questions, don't be shy. You can ask me questions all day long. All right, guys. Well, let's see if this MGRX has any more legs in it. I mean, they've got this high over here, about 139 or so. Whoa, and it just got halted. It just got halted. Okay. Hands in pray mode right now, guys. It just got halted. So, guys, I just notified William and Obi. Heads up, I'm off next week. Okay, I'm off next week. There's nobody could be on the mic now. Chris, the last time I took off, which was I can't remember a year and a half ago. I think Chris popped in every now and then. Don't know if he's on vacation again next week, but if not, he might pop in every now and then. But Obi will continue to open the room. I'm assuming anyway, and then William Obi can close the room whenever they want. But I'm off all next week. Okay, guys. Well, I'm just waiting on this. I am in it. Okay, so I'm in this one. I was able to get some a little lower than the 114, so we'll see what happens. And if it's a 5 minute halt, 10:16, so 10:21 plus 27 seconds. And my finger will be on the submit button so quickly in case it has a little bit of a drop. So again, what time is it? I'm got to nail down this time. So halted at 116, so sorry, 10 to 116, 10, 16, 27. So 10:21 plus 27 seconds, 10:21. And the time right now is 10:19. So a little more than 2 minutes if it's going to be a 5 minute halt. Boy, that, yeah, Kishore in our YouTube room, echoing what I thought also a few, well, it's probably a year now. After all these years of using candles, I've switched to bar charts, looking at your charts, and so far loving it. So much easier to see the levels. I just like it. It's cleaner. I just find it a lot cleaner, but it's nothing I had even considered until about a year ago. Okay, about a minute for this open. Well, you can try info at trade-ideas.com. Have you checked your spam folder? I know this for some reason with the trades of the week, John. For some reason, some people don't get it, and we ask them to check your spam folder. If you have Gmail, check your promotions folder. Could be there. It's frustrating. I know. There's no fix though. Seem to be a fix for some reason. Some people don't get it, no matter what we try. So info at trade-ideas.com. There's no magic bullet that I can say, yeah, just do this. All right, guys. Well, getting close to the open. If it's a 5 minute open, about 10 seconds from now. Okay, open. It did open. I'm just holding on a little bit. You know what? Okay, I just took some off. Okay, I just took some off. The 123 mark. Hmm. And boy, the minute, so it's just got a little bit to where I bought it. So I don't have much left, and now it doesn't look good. It's going to get halted. Yeah. So I'm okay. I didn't hold on to very much, but this doesn't look good now. That was one big few because now it's halted again, but now your potential open is like 90 cents. All right. Okay, know what's happening here now. I saw that one LKQ, and the alert was at 22.97, so it hasn't moved yet. Wow, look at the room it's got though, guys. Look at the room it has. If it can take this out, that was the high of yesterday. So again, remember what this is trying to do. This is trying to show stocks that were down yesterday at least 5%, and then so it's interesting. The minimum it has to be up today is 1%. Most of the time we see stocks that are way up, way above that. But you can see that LKQ is basically right at the high of yesterday now, and that's what it has to keep clearing. And but when you look left, $26, 26.82 is the next high looking left. So certainly would have some room. So guys, even today, I'm going to have to leave at about quarter to 12. Okay, and I'm not coming back. So just give me a moment, though. No sound. You're right. Sorry, you're right. You're right. No sound. I had my mic off. So tree guys is a little bit like the LKQ, a little bit like the LKQ in terms of the gap fill. Is there a link with these two? What do they do? Motor vehicle parts. So there must be a link between these two. It just they look too similar. The big gap down, and then a lot of room. Big gap down, a lot of room. So something is tying these two together. I believe. Western Union. I wonder if this is an earnings play. Yes, it is. WU is an earnings play. Market's trying to come back a little bit here. So for YouTubers, there's not going to be any YouTube next week unless Dan does his thing at noon. So, you should come into the main room. Okay. Just come into the main room. It will still be open. I won't be on the mic. Chris, sometimes he's on vacation on Monday, but he might come in and out of the room next week. But YouTubers, come into the main room. Okay. It'll be open 6:45 in the morning till whenever William or Obi wants to shut it down. Oh yeah, I'm out of it. Yeah. Luckily, luck on the MGRX. Yeah, I know I'm out of it. I was lucky enough to get out on the first pop when it came out of the halt, and as it started drifting down, I didn't. What I was hoping for was to get close to that 140 mark. That was the next high looking left. When it didn't seem to want to do that, that was enough for me. And I had a little bit left when it was halted on the way down, but not enough to kill me. So. Well, you know what? I mean, the SUV is look what it did. It held the VWAP. At least it held the VWAP, came right into it. This is another cheap one, guy. CIGL just got halted on the way down. It looks like MGRX got halted on the way down again. Whew. I got lucky. I got it. I mean, that first halt, it came out of the first halt not badly, but it could have come out of the first halt and crashed. Usually, the first halt is okay. Oh boy, what are you doing? AMCX, not in this one. This is the one I should be in. What do I think about REPL? Well, the last time I looked, let's take a look at it right here. I know come on, not good. I mean, depends like the type of trader you are. I mean, if you're looking for a bounce, but I mean, this looked pretty good in the pre-market. Had some good news, and it looked like it was going to hold the VWAP very well. 925 was still holding the VWAP when the market opened, though. It plunged down, tried to come up again, but it's underneath the VWAP. Now it's having a bounce a bit, but I have no feelings about it right now. I mean, if you took the bounce around the 950 mark, I mean that's awesome, and maybe hold on and see if it gets close to the VWAP. But it's always disappointing to me when a stock cannot hold on to the VWAP. But it had news. Yeah, they had approval on their cancer therapy drug, positive FDA panel vote. Yes, but it hasn't. I mean, it's still up 91%. Don't get me wrong; it's still up 91%, but it certainly gave up. I mean, from 12 down to 9. No, that's a big percentage drop. What vote happens on Sunday or something? What vote are you talking? Well, it says here, talking about the vote. It says here, panel of outside advisors. Okay, outside advisors voted to back the results. outside advisors. I think William explained this once before. There's the FDA, then there's the panel or outside advisors. So they're not quite the same, but typically, if the outside advisors say yes, it'd be rare that the FDA or whatever this panel is will say no. It's rare, I think. Am I right, William? So that's the AdCom panel and then the FDA. So would it be somewhat rare that this panel okays it and then the FDA says no? Doesn't mean it won't happen, but of course it doesn't matter to us right now because it's going to happen on Sunday, at least according to Grumpy. It's unusual, but not unheard of. Okay. I am not going to trade on vacation. There might be one day. I'm actually not really going too far. Okay, and sort of actually staying around, but there's stuff we have to do, and so I'm taking the week off. But there might be one day in which I can come back in the room. Probably not though. But I know when I'm off, I'm off. I turn my I don't load anything. I'm off. So again, YouTubers, you should keep this link. Just give me a moment. So here's my homepage link. This is for people on YouTube, okay? Because YouTube will not be up and running at all next week, except maybe Wednesday if Dan Merkin, the CEO, decides to do his YouTube thing again, his stream between 12 and 1. So if you click on that link, this is the link to get into the trading room, okay? Okay, the trading room, and it's free. It is free, but it will be open at 6:45 a.m. Eastern time, and it'll go until whenever Obi or William want to shut it down, probably till at least 2 o'clock. Okay. Yeah, I completely unplugged. Yeah, well, the tree, some of these are starting to work nicely. The tree, 32.35, 32.75 now. Let's say, what is this one? The 470. Yeah, these cheap ones, it's got to take out 470 again. So remember what the scan does. I'll look on the long side. So down big yesterday, but up today. So if you look at the scan, so the trigger is a new high of the day. That's number one. But what has to happen is the price, all these filter values have to be met. So the price has to be between $1 and $60. The current volume has to be at least three, meaning it's trading at least three times normal up to this time of day. Minimum 150,000 shares. So these are the two key ones. The stock, well, actually these two. The price has to be, yesterday, it had to close at least 5% down, okay? And then today, it's got to be at least 1% up from yesterday's close. Also has to be above the high of yesterday. So these are the three filters that really control it, okay? This is just telling me, don't show me an alert in the first 5 minutes. Start showing me alerts after at 9:35 on, and that doesn't mean you'll get one right at 9:35, but that would be the earliest. And that's just because if you have this open at 9:30, 9:35 is not. I mean, 9:35 is very active too, but at 9:30 you'd be inundated with alerts more than likely. But that's what it's looking for. Okay, so you can see you had the alert for the STFS right here, when it looked at that yesterday's high, which is 470. So that was the trigger, but it is still not, but it's just hovering around it. And now when you look left, I mean, you've got a lot of room, a lot of room. Look at this, 614 is the next high looking left. But that's what it's looking for. You know, the AMCX, which I should be in, the AMCX, it's the same thing. I mean, it was down 5% yesterday and having a complete reversal today. And the trigger was at 1109. You guys were talking about the TGHL. Well, that would have been the better one, you know, the one that's breaking instead of the MGRX. Obviously, this is holding its gains over $1. The next high in a monthly chart, anyway, is 245. Tons of room on the monthly chart. What does it look like on the weekly chart? Not as much, 172, but still a lot of room. And that's for the TGHL. So I picked the wrong one. But believe me, that's why you have stops. I mean, look at the MGRX right now, 85 cents. That's if I'd had my entire position still where I bought it and I was holding on, I would not be happy. It's a beautiful VWAP play, isn't it? FCUV, beautiful. Look what happened. Two bars, 2 5-minute bars, sitting right on top of the VWAP. VWAP, you know, you don't know 100%, of course, if the VWAP is going to act as support, but you know, in order to take this one. So if the VWAP is at 1065, you know, that's the only issue. You'd have to have a pretty wide stop because you can't be sure that the VWAP is going to hold it. But maybe taking it on an 11 break with a 1050 about a 50-cent stop. 50-cent stop, meaning if it drops down to the VWAP area, you want to be out of the trade. And I recognize that VWAP number there, 983, is different from this one at 1060. And that's because this is looking at the pre-market data also. Why wouldn't you? Look at all the volume in the pre-market. You know, look at 820 right there, 820. Look at all the volume in the pre-market. Why would you not want the VWAP to take into account that volume also? If somebody can give me a good enough reason, not that I'm going to switch, but seriously, the reason for not using the volume in the pre-market when calculating the VWAP. Only if you open the room and say it's 6:30 and set at 6:45 OB, and then you don't normally you are going to. Of course, I'm just kidding. My room link. Well, it's on my homepage. The room link is on my homepage. So if you save my homepage, CRG, save my homepage. Okay. Then when you click on it, you'll see right here. There's the link to get into the room. Okay, the main room. Wow. I mean, that's almost textbook, you know. The only reason I would have maybe done it anyway is just because of the float. You know, it's a little more predictable for a higher float, perhaps the VWAP area. But what that mean? But that is that's about as beautiful as you can get. Two tests of the VWAP held, and then from there it just exploded again. FCUV, and I think it's probably halted, isn't it? Yes, it is. So before that pulled back at all, that was about $1 move off the alert, 32.35. What was the spread like? Spread is not wonderful. It's about 20 cents. Not horrible, but not great, but tradable in my opinion. And how did the LKQ end up doing? See, not as good. Not as good as the tree. Okay, here's another one that's having a nice little bounce here right now, guys. RBLX. Let's see if I can bring it up. RBLX is having a nice bounce over 35. The VWAP is up here, 35.79. So that's far enough away for a bit of a trade. If it gets close to the VWAP, this is an earnings play, still down a lot, 27%, but trying to have a recovery. Market, look at the market. Okay, market actually, SPY actually went positive, barely. Well, we have it -4, but right here it's looks like it's just barely gone positive. Or the Qs really gave it up. The Qs really, really gave it up. But the market, okay, the SPY now is right at the VWAP, right at the VWAP. If you can see my SPY, my 5-minute chart down here, see how it's rallied into the VWAP right now, a little bit above it. Even this one had a bounce, guys. The DFNS 2275, all bounce. That's understatement. 25 7 22 something all the way back up to 42, back down the DFNS. Just a wild trader. Hard to predict that bounce though. There was I don't I mean the only thing I could say is There was a low right there, 2093. What did it get down to? It got down to 2272. So pretty hard to predict a bounce like this. All right, SpaceX has now reclaimed 110, guys. So maybe it'll have another move, $110. So this is how you can play it. If you thought that SpaceX was going to continue to recover somewhat, you can now. The only issue I have is that there's the VWAP for the SPCH. You can put a price alert just a little bit above it, say 615. And there, yeah. So good. The VWAP for SpaceX, the stock, is sort of corresponding to the VWAP for the two-time ETF. It should have, but you never know. But it is. So, by the same token, you know how the FCUV down into the VWAP a couple of times, and it held it, acted as support. Same on the reverse. Will that act as resistance moving higher? Well, guys, this is the key level right there. There's that VWAP. I did not know that. AMCX was actually one in our AI also. I did not know that. This is a lot. I want to say easier, but I mean it's more steady now. Okay, I mean it's not a high float, not a large float, but it's not really low, so it's a little more steady in terms of the way it looks. Steady meaning not giant red bars down, not giant green bars up. Well, the SPY is still showing it's still in recovery mode, guys. That's a nice recovery. I don't know what time is it. I don't think there's any economic indicator, any tweet somewhere that is causing the SPY to move higher. We did have, I guess we had Michigan. I did not put in the economic calendar, but I guess Michigan consumer expectations was at 10 o'clock. What happened at 10 o'clock? Well, the market was moving down a little bit still. And Logan says the risk to inflation up to the upside. Which, of course, means they might want to raise interest rates the next time around. Moment, please. Oh, I see this I think this is a big move down now for the VCYT. Yep. So the spread is, I think the last time I looked, it was around 20 cents. It wasn't terrible, but look at the move now, 46.50 down to 43.81 on the short. This is an earnings play. Look at the VWAP action for SpaceX, guys. So, on the flip side, as I was mentioning, look what happened. It got right into the VWAP, and I just basically said, nope. So those are two that are textbook VWAP plays. I mean, they've got a couple of bars into the VWAP and could not break, and so acting as resistance on the way up doesn't mean it's forever going to happen, but it's certainly that's why I pay attention to where the VWAP is. Another leg up for the AMCX, little leg up, another new high for the day. Still, PJ, he's still holding on. How do you know? Oh, I'll be back, Faith. I'll miss you, but I'll be back. I see. Yeah, FFAI is accelerating right here. Another low float, 2.3 million in the float. Volume coming in. You see it here. You see it here. All sorts of ways in which you can see FFAI as it was making its move. Okay, it's not just that you're not just seeing it right now as it's making its move. Now, this has been just in complete and utter collapse mode for the last couple of months. I mean, I remember $68, six. We're not talking that long ago. We're talking at the beginning of June. We're at the end of July now, guys. So say 2 months. Meanwhile, FCUV just got halted, and this is down now. So I guess what did it hit? About 15, got up to about 16, and now it got halted on the way down. Now, how many times will the VWAP act as support? Rhetorical question, okay? But here we are again. I think it's a little more suspect this time. Well, FFAI, the next high looking left is 667. So that's a high right there. And then there's 1025. So you can see 667 where it's at right now in that area. Takes that out. And then the next high on a daily chart is 1023. Certainly room. But remember now, it's been unless is there any news on this one? Had some news yesterday saying that their new FCC robotics rules strengthen its U.S. market position. Okay. That's one we had here, BOT, Robo Strategy. So FFAI had a reverse split. Thank you, Obi. Effective the 24th, 1 for 150. Wow. That was effective on July the 24th. So I guess that this is reverse split adjusted then. Guys, I'm going to try something. It's 8 o'clock right, 11 o'clock right now. I'm just going to try something. The room is going to go dark. Okay, I want to reload. Actually, it may not go dark. I'm just going to reload myself. I'm exiting myself. I'm going to come back in. I don't think the screen, well, maybe the screen sharing will go away, but it'll come right back. I'm just testing something. Okay. So give me a moment. So I'm going to go mute for about maybe 30 seconds. So can you guys still see my screen? Just let me know. Okay, well, you should be able to hear me now. I just want to make sure, I want to see if you can see my screen also. And I'm not talking in YouTube. I'm talking about in the main room. Anybody? Maybe guys can't hear me in the main room. Just anybody? You hear me? Okay. But you can't see the screen. No screen. Okay. That's what I wanted to find out. Okay. No screen. Okay. Screen should be back now. Okay. Okay, guys. There we go. So our screen's back. Audio's back in both rooms. It didn't disappear in YouTube. Look at that AMCX. Just what is this one? FF. Oh, this is the FFAI. And did it get halted? It got halted on the way up. Yes, got halted on the way up. Oh, okay. I'll let me check it out. Oh, I see, William. Yeah, the problem is that Chris is the only one who can really help, and he's on vacation until Monday. Sorry about that. William Woodward, okay? He's the only one, it's unfortunate, but he's the only one. He rarely takes any time off, and even when he's on vacation, sometimes he'll just check. But this was something that he had to. Okay, so you'll have to just have a little patience. I'm sorry, I can't help. No, looking at these log files, it's a real challenge. So Pepe, what I did was I went to the cookies again and I disabled or closed down the cookies, but that didn't work. I wonder if I would have to actually shut the entire room down. I'm not going to do it, but this is crazy. I'm talking about this. I don't see. The problem is I don't see the numbers beside the tabs when something is posted there. It was fixed yesterday, but it's the same thing again today. So that's why I'm missing. Sorry. So thank you, William, for pointing out when somebody asks a question in the support room or the support tab. Yeah, it was working fine yesterday. I haven't done a thing, and I don't even have. Even if we thought that the Epic Pen, I haven't even loaded it today. I haven't needed it. Bye, Shaw. Yeah, thank you very much in our YouTube room. I'm just checking it right now. You're asking because it's an AI alert, AZIO. Probably. Actually, there are shares available. I don't typically short stocks this cheap, but it's up to you. There's the alert at 148. It's at 143 now. When you look at it, looks like it started trading as AZI. It doesn't mean this is an IPO. Just means it might have changed symbols this month. The low here is 140. But when you look at the lifetime low, it's still so there whatever the symbol was before, I'm assuming it had another symbol. That's all. Because our lifetime low is at 20, it says 23%. So if you had a lifetime candle, it wouldn't be quite at the lifetime low. Whereas when you look at this, you would think, well, it's right at the lifetime low. So that's why I'm pretty sure that this probably changed symbols. Whoa, and there's a big drop for the AMCX. So, William, I am taking off at 11:45. Okay, Andy. If you're in YouTube, Andy says he's going to show up at 11:45. He'll go to 1 o'clock in YouTube. He has to shut down YouTube. Of course, when he leaves, I'll be gone. Whatever Obi or you want to do when I leave. Okay, 2:30. Thanks. So this circle is down at least almost 8%. Okay, this is the two. This is the two timer. I'm assuming. It doesn't say two time, but I should take a look at CRCL and make sure maybe it's only a one timer. No. So let's see. What I just put up there was a two timer. So you want to short. So if you wanted to short this one, and lots of shares available, if you thought CRCL was going to keep moving down, or if it's going to bounce, okay, again, another way to play it instead of having to trade a more expensive stock, and you'll get double the move. So if CRCL decides to pop up, this will move up, double that move. But of course, if it goes down, you can short this one. No, I'm off all next week. I'm off all next week. It's got nothing to do with the long weekend in Canada. I do not use any blockers. I remember I'm using Edge. I don't even know if they have them. I guess they do have them, but I'm not using anything. No ad blockers, no browser extensions, nothing. I didn't work fine for years, and I haven't changed a thing with Edge. Thanks for asking, though, Pepe. It's weird though. So this is what I did. Okay, I went. Hopefully, not just went here and cookies and data. Okay, and 2 cookies in use. I actually. So I saw them. I disabled or I got rid of them, but they've come back. But that's all I did. No. Sorry about that. I actually shut down the tab. Okay, we should be back again, guys. Yeah, I'm not gonna try Chrome. Chrome it shut me down. Maybe I'll try it when I come back. I have to ask Sebastian though. I mean, this is crazy. Why is this happening? He actually prefers that I use Edge. And I don't have Firefox up and running. I'd have to load it. Not that it's a big deal, but anyway, I'm probably done, guys, for the day. Like William, I made a little bit on that MGRX. So here's another way. Oh, that's the same one. Now CRCA. So the CRCA keeps moving down. So this is a two timer again for the stock CRCL circle, and it's down 8% the stock. This is down 16%. Ugh, okay, guys, fortunately I have to leave right now. Okay, I have to leave right now. So, as I said, I'll be off all next week. I'll keep the room will be open. Andy will show up in our YouTube room at about 11:45. Okay, so have a great week, guys.
I guess Barry's not doing the handoff today. Guys, let me know if you can hear me, and I'm about to share my screen. See if everything works here. Testing one, two, three. Testing one, two, three. Can you guys hear me and see my screen? Testing one, two. Oh, good, good. Thank you, Yellow Jacket. I appreciate it. I didn't know if Barry had to do something on his end before he left, but uh, okay, perfect. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. All right. Welcome to my desktop. Welcome to Friday edition of the support webinar. And we are kind of in a sloppy market today. I kind of expected this after anytime I've seen this twice now, like in the last week, maybe 10 days, where you have a good day and then in the after hours, I'm noticed, man, everybody's chasing, stocks are going up. I said, uh-oh, this doesn't feel right, and then of course we gap up and have a sell off today, very, very similar to what I saw last time. But nonetheless, we're holding on to basically flat in the Qs. That gap up makes it look a lot worse. If we'd have gapped down and we were flat, it would feel totally different. So, uh, but uh, it is the market we are dealt. All right. So if you do have any questions, hit me up in that YouTube chat, and I'll do my best to answer it. And if not, we can definitely talk stocks. Uh, and let me change this. There we go. Get rid of that sidebar. Thanks, Steve. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised today if we ended up flat. Hopefully we don't. If you're bullish, hopefully we don't sell off. But that wouldn't surprise me either. China stocks are holding up best for me today by far. You got Baba. Of course, I don't have enough of them. Baidu, because they're so nasty. Uh, Liking this VIPs, if it can get through this area, get through the uh, back their highs, I guess. But there's no volume today, so I'm really not expecting it to go anywhere. This one is one that I bought this morning, pulled back to its fast line, maybe looking for it to forget to get going. Rear, it can be a high flyer at times. But other than that, yeah, I did get stopped out of some stuff today. I was in ARM, got stopped out a bit. Got stopped out of, probably about 3 or 4 positions. I can't even remember which ones they are now. Reset this alert in here if it goes to highs. Tesla, my P&L is actually out of whack in this one because last night, obviously I can't do it in the software, but last night it had a run up to like, gosh, 320, and I sold some, and then I could not do it in here. So what I sold in this account was much lower than what I sold in my other account. So anyway, That's one where my P&L is a lot better than what it looks, which is basically flat. Take a look at what we may be looking at in the markets. I mentioned this. I thought we may, get up to this 20 period moving average today. We gapped up. I was hoping we would kind of run up there and maybe I would divvy out some more, but that wasn't the case. We gapped up in between the 10 and the 20 and pretty much just got slammed, right at the open. Digging in now, we'll see what happens, but you have to keep in the back of your mind that we're still under pressure. Okay, we're under the 50, we're under the 20. Now we're under the 10 again in the Qs. I mean, we have a lot of work to do. Okay, so you can't, in my opinion, you cannot trade this market like you traded it over here because I don't know if we're on the other side of the mountain, but we are in a downtrend for the last 2 months. Okay, so but I've seen a snap out of this kind of trend before really quick, and I could go back in cases and show you over and over again, like right here, head snap. Over here, things were looking bleak. Head snap, for the shorts. So it can happen again. But and it's nice to be long when it does happen. Let me get my big boys over here. Apple is definitely a drag on the overall market now, going to fresh new lows. But as we've seen before, as Apple was moving higher over in this time frame, the market was rolling over. So you don't have to have Apple to go up for the market to go up. What you need to have right now is semis. Semis has been really running this market, and you got Intel's up on the day, AMD's up on the day, Nvidia's up on the day, and then of course you got the software companies are doing good. Microsoft, which I bought in after earnings. I got very fortunate to grab some. Where was it at 399.30 after earnings, and then I got a nice pipe. There's the VIPs. See, it says in there I could have a nice run, but I just don't know if we're going to see one today. But who knows? See how the other ones are holding up. Baidu's holding up well. Baba's holding up well. All looking good. Rear, if it does take out highs, I will be adding to this position. I missed KC last night in after hours. Could have grabbed it at 10 or about 10:15 actually in after hours. But that one looks like it's look at that. Could just be shoving that higher, man. So let's pull up the China. Let's see. Let's pull up the China stocks real quick and see what we got over here. There's KC at the top of the board. YUMC, which was I was in pretty much down here at lows, and I got stopped out there. Now, this lunar, this was the trade, the call. I still like it. I did sell a little bit close to highs today, just a fraction, like uh, a 20th, but or 20%. But I really think you need SpaceX to do something. I mean, do something, man. This thing is just it's just languishing, and it's going to be hard for it to go. But I mean, gosh, if it just get any sort of bounce at all, this thing I think would rip. But it's just go over some more trades. Oracle. I hope some of you guys caught that. That was a call uh, back over here if it broke above this range, and it did. I'm really liking this one. I haven't sold any of that yet, and I'm hoping this is going to be, a major turnaround, kind of like what we saw in Microsoft. But and Microsoft doing so well is not hurting it for sure. Battling with the 20 period moving average right now. I think if it does get like back above today's high, I'm not expecting it today, but who knows? But you're talking about a stock, uh, basically from 345, all the way down to buck 25. Historically, and when you call it big uh, tech companies, basically leaders in the market for a very long time, when you catch them like the, down in this area, I mean, you need to hang on to them because you could turn around next year and this thing could be back up to 250, easy. All right, Vips, don't just tickle that new high, go through, but not, there's no volume. Poet made some nice money on Poet, but actually actually sold some near highs this morning, and then I bought it back at 18. But anyway, yeah, this one hoping for some good squeezes in some of these things. Put an alert there in SpaceX just in case it does pop above at 1025 level. And I was in ASTS. Luckily, I sold some of that also. This was one that was just ramping last night, up to, I think I may have sold it. I don't have the after hours on here, but anyway, it was it, and I sold half last night. Luckily, I got stopped out of the rest, but I think it's one of those you need to keep an eye on. And Symbiotic, bought the other day. This one I have a much better price because I got hit in pre-market. Now, of course, you can't get hit in pre-market on this on the brokerage plus. They won't let you like get hit on the bid. Used to you could get hit on a print, but not anymore. Still liking Tesla. Has that been a potential bottom down there? But see if the market can't get some legs here. In IBIT, I got a hard stop in IBIT if it does go to lows. I bought some of this. I've been trading it well this year, but I really thought, that it was going to break out of this range to the upside. So I bought a little bit yesterday, and I added like a dummy at the open. But I do have a hard stop in this thing if it goes back to lows. That's a nice volume bar. I think you also saw this same volume type bar in the actual Bitcoin futures. So I think Steve pointed out to me he saw it in XRP. It is the end of Friday afternoon, guys. I be careful, like trying to catch a rally. Not to mean that we can't have one for sure, but it's pretty thin right now, and a lot of this stuff Probably better off buying pullbacks and then kind of trying to chase a wick. I'll uh, probably thin out of some of this VIPs. I mean, it looks good. It looks good on the chart. And actually, if you look, let me. I'm gonna change my stop anyway. So what I'm looking at is a high over here of 23, and really your next high on this daily chart is not for, another 30 cents higher, and that's a minimum. So think I was thinking this thing might go through with China being strong, this morning and have some ump to it, but yeah, there's no volume in a lot of stuff today. Let me close, get rid of some price alerts. Now, I may be tempted if Bitcoin does take out like this 2-hour high here to actually add more. I got some arrows in my quiver, so uh, oh shoot, what happened there? I close it. No, there it is. GDS. I like this. If the data centers remain strong, which they're selling off a little bit today, I do like this GDS China play. Now, obviously, they're struggling a little today with a lot of the other technology stocks, but actually, if that thing comes down to the 5-day, yeah, I'm gonna set a little bit higher. PDD, what's it doing? That's setting up nicely as well. Tal had earnings yesterday, looking to maybe go back through highs. So definitely some relative strength in China stocks for sure. Yeah, a lot of nice bullish setups. Oh, might have caught that tail down there this morning. So really, VIPS has been lagging. It does this a lot, and sometimes this thing gets going, and when it does, it can really go. Uh, it's you can see over here, once this thing kind of gets in a groove, man, it can really fly. But maybe not today. All right, IBIT's getting close to that level, and And what is that level? 54. So 54 is definitely the level there, and I bit. And you got the 10 period moving average. It's poking its head above it. So one I will definitely keep an eye on. That's why I have an alert. All right. I'm sure it's pretty thin in here since Barry took off about 20 minutes before I got here. So I definitely understand the lack of communication in the YouTube chat. That's okay. I'll ramble. I'll ramble to thin air. Oracle's holding on just fine. And once again, let's see that 20 period is 128.80 in that Oracle. So get back above that would be encouraging. So a really good day yesterday and just giving back a little bit today. So uh, it's encouraging because sometimes when you get those gap ups and got slammed down, what you don't want to do is give up, like more than half of what you had on a good day yesterday. Yeah, I'm starting to feel like SpaceX may want, anytime you get close to a number like 100, they just kind of gravitate to it. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing at some point wants $100, which I think would probably be a good buy. I mean, for a longer term, for sure. Remember Google did way back in the day, did that when it IPO'd. Uh, there's iBit. Just make sure it doesn't do a little flinch, poke its little turtle head through it and come right back down, go back into its shell. You see those kind of shenanigans this time of day. Let me just pull it up so you guys can see. Just make sure it doesn't like poke its head through and get slapped right back down because it is weak today. But I know the way this thing trades, maximum pain both directions. Wait, what happened? I lost my. Not a whole lot of oomph. And let's take a look at get the full picture here. .30-minute. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. Man, that's a tough one to add. Let's go to the 4 hour. Do have, some nice level of support down here. So, we could be looking at a bounce off the support. And of course, the 15 minutes going to show the same that we were just looking at, breaking through a level. Yeah, I don't see any reason to get to get loaded up on this thing, that's for sure. Now, VIPS is slowly continuing. You don't have to have volume, that's for sure. The price it pays is what Brian Shannon likes to say. Price pays. Now, Baba's got above that high. Yeah, and Bitcoin it was a good hold off there. I think just nothing nothing that excited me. Pokes through a couple of cents, no volume. Amazon holding up well after earnings, very similar to microwave Microsoft traded. I mean, there's a lot of good things out there as far as earnings. You got Microsoft, you got Amazon. How is Nibis holding up today? Not too well. Give him some back. How's my boy Wolf doing? Yep, very similar. They all like trade the same. Is sitting on its 200 day. Be right back, guys. I gotta cut the AC down. Up. All right. Lower my desk here. Well, the market has died, and like I said, Qs are a little bit up on the day actually. Spy, same thing, a little bit up on the day. So some of these stocks look grim, but the overall averages are holding on just fine. I did add some at 47. Sorry, 57. On iBit, I tell you, that path is the trickiest stock in the world to trade. You tell yourself, don't buy it, until it breaks out of a level like it did here after earnings, and then it was just killed. I guess you got to let it just clear the whole range here. Maybe if it clears the whole range, either that or you buy it. This is definitely channeling stocks.com. You buy it at 10 and you sell it when it gets up to around 12 or 13. Okay, the Qs are getting a little left here. And my bit is looking better. Added some of that rear. Hmm. Take a look for some more China names that may. What's First Solar doing today? Had earnings last night. That don't look bad. It's like it wants to go to highs. What's EMPH doing? Nothing. Oh, it had earnings. Looks like about 3 days ago. Well, I'm encouraged that I'm not too far from going positive on the day after being down about 3 times more than that. If I only could get that lunar to go. Of course, I sold most of my Microsoft. You can see in my realized is I just get nervous, when you got, a chunk of earnings play and you get these big gaps. I've sit there and tried to hang on before with everything I got. And they just totally fill the gap, but that's okay. I got a little chunk left, so uh, I will just hold on to that and let it work for me. I tell you though, if it does clear that level, if it clears that level, it's probably going to 480. So I have to put alert there. All I saw, after earnings was price targets being raised to like 650, 600, 630. And so this could have a move easily, back to all-time highs. I shouldn't say easily, but how many times you've seen it though with one of the big techs. Okay, Spies just put in about a 2-hour high. This lunar can, it can move when it goes. But let's stick alert here above this 30. But once again, I think if you don't get SpaceX doing something, Let's take a look at some of the other ones. What's Rocket Lab doing? Yeah, they all look about the same. All right, guys, I'm going to hang on for probably another 10 minutes. That would put me in here an hour. I probably won't go all the way to the top of the hour. It's just not a whole lot going on. Gosh, dang it. Oh, that was on my list today. Where did that come from? Man, what a move. I should have been marking that up, but shoot. Oh, well, I'm not going to look at it. Just frustrated me. This it's got earnings on August 5th, but that's an interesting chart to me because if it can get through that level, you hear Barry say it all the time. Next high, if it gets to that level, you got like about a set two at least a $2 move, $2.50. Definitely want to keep an eye on. But they do have earnings next week. Make that a little bit tighter so I'll see it. Otherwise, alert will go off, and then by the time I see it, put it right there. Yesterday's. Well, it's tempting. Yeah, I'm liking the way that one's setting up. You can get kind of break that trend, get above that 50, and put about a 2-week high in. If these China continues, it's definitely one to watch. All right, guys, about 5 more minutes. Tesla looking pretty good. And the Q's poked a little head through and come slapping back down. Well, a pretty big volume bar there in Baidu. Make sure these things are sure one to watch. Keep an eye on that after that bar. Wait a minute here. 110.27 is the 20 period needs to stay above. See if you can go to highs after that bar. Really hasn't really moved that much. You think about it. This thing's really been kind of the lower end of its range. All right, guys, I am going to call it a day. I just pretty dead in here. I feel like I'm talking to Yellow Jacket. That's about it. But you guys have a great weekend. Things will pick up next week, and as we get later in August, early September, really, I mean, it's pretty dead around July, and late July and August. Everybody's on vacation. But hey, have a great weekend, and I will see you guys next week. Bye bye. Let's see. I got to end this StreamYard. Thanks, Peppy. You too, buddy.